Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in and killing time with me again. I'm CC Cowie Z, and I got a gear review today. If you're new here, this is about me just expressing my passion for motorcycling. Right now, my bike of choice is a Z900 RS Cafe, and that's why it's CC, that's my initials, and then the Cowie Z. So that's how we roll here, and welcome back if you're one of my subscribers. Thanks for tuning in and killing time with me again. And if you like what you see, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit subscribe if you like what I'm doing here. And it's not an everyday moto vlog sort of thing. It's not an every week moto vlog sort of thing. It's just when I have something to talk about or want to share one of my rides, I'll make a video and I'll upload it. Sometimes it's maintenance, sometimes it's just riding, occasionally maybe talking about how I feel about motorcycle community in my area or just around the United States or around the world. I think it's a great community. I think motorcyclists are great people. I've been doing it half my life, and it's just one of my big passions in life, besides playing drums and doing some other things. But motorcycling's always been right up there with one of my favorite things to do as far as a hobby. I used to commute, and I don't do that anymore. I'm a fair-weathered motorcycle rider nowadays, and I'm happy for it. Sunday early mornings, that's my time to ride. And of course I ride more than that. Sometimes I ride on weekdays. Sometimes, I ride Saturday and Sundays. It's just whatever kind of floats my boat and what I'm in the mood for. But today I got a new review for some gear. It's a new year for me. I just turned 50, so I've got some new gear. So it's new year, new gear. And I was going to ride a couple months ago. We get to ride all year round here in Florida. And so I was in February. I was going to go take a ride on the bike. It wasn't so cold that weekend. It was nice. And I got my gear on and I went riding, and I came back home and I was looking at my gear, looking over my gear, which if you're getting your bikes ready to ride, you up north who have to winterize your motorcycles, I feel bad for you, but you don't have to live where you live either. Just kidding. Anyway, I was, looking at my gear and I thought, yeah, I haven't taken a real close look at some of my riding gear lately. And I looked down and I had a couple perforated holes on my old gloves right around the palm area where it meets into a double layer of leather for the palm. And I noticed there was a couple little rips connecting the perforations. So it was just one of those things where I was like, all right, I probably need to get some new gloves, because my, if you put your hand down and you already have a couple of tears in the palm of your glove, it's probably not going to hold up. It's probably not going to end well. So I started shopping around for some gloves, and the market is saturated. Now, I wanted to go back with the old glove. I'll just tell you, it was Alpine Star Mustang V2. And it was 6 years ago when I bought it. It was a sub $100 glove. And so I just hopped back online, and I was just going to buy what I'd already bought in the past because I liked it. It worked well for me. And lo and behold, they're like $120 now. And I thought, okay, that might be worth it. I mean, let's face it, prices are never going to go down. It doesn't matter who's yanking your chain. Prices are never going to go down. They're never going to go backwards. Not in this country anyway. So I got online, I started looking around, and I thought, wow, there are a lot of options here. I want short cuff, I want full grain leather, some sort of knuckle protector is always nice to have. And, I finally just started narrowing it down to my price point, sub $100 price point for this type of glove. This is not a race full gauntlet or anything like that. I have those. Didn't want to get too, how do I say it? I didn't want a racy, super extremely racy looking glove. This is just for the Cafe 900Z. So, I didn't want something that was, too racy. I wanted something that was, besides the price point, it's going to be higher if you get a full gauntlet glove. So I just went ahead and narrowed it down to about 3 different options before actually making my decision. And I'm really glad that I did. I got a ride in with these gloves, maybe about 50, 60 mile ride. And I think they're excellent. They're going to be a great glove for my purposes. So let's get into it. It's UK manufactured, no, excuse me, UK company manufactured in Pakistan, which I have no problem with. I've had American-made leather motorcycle jackets, pants that were from the United States and also manufactured in Pakistan. So I'm not at one bit worried about the quality of the leather garments that are being manufactured in that country. I have trusted, like I said, American companies that have their products manufactured in Pakistan, and I've had some of my gear over 10 years from a manufacturing plant in Pakistan, and they're great, great leather garments. So that didn't worry me at all where they were manufactured. All I knew I wanted was full grain, like I said, short cuff, and a little bit of like a knuckle protector, knuckle guard in there. So what I went with was RST. This is their Freestyle 2. And it's a little racier than I wanted, but it just looks that way. It's not necessarily a race glove at all. Now, let's get into the construction of this thing. This is full grain leather on the outer. It's got a polyester lining on the inside. Now, one website for online retailers for this says it has a waterproof membrane on the full grain leather. The other website where I got these doesn't say that. It doesn't say that they have a waterproof membrane outer. So I'm gonna have to look that up because one retailer says it does and one retailer doesn't mention it at all. So I'm not worried about that. I don't really ride in the rain if I can help it. If it looks like it's gonna rain or it says it in the weather forecast, I just kind of, hang out home and drink some beer. It's kind of like owning a boat, If the weather's not good, you can stay home and have some beer. Anyway, I digress. So it says that the knuckle protector here is TPU and carbon. So the TPU is, the thermal poly plastic. And then there's also TPR involved, which is a synthetic rubber, thermal rubber, poly rubber. And I believe that's the accordion stretch. They call like the action leather. You get on the index, middle, and ring finger, along with some more of the TPU knuckle sliders. You get that on the hand, and you get that on the 3 digits, index, middle, ring finger, and then on the pinky, they don't have any of the synthetic rubber, the TPR, but they do, nor do they have a knuckle slider, the TPU, but they do have this extra double layer of animal hide. I believe it's bovine leather, and it goes all the way up to the pinky. I like that. My old gloves had this. They did not have the knuckle on the finger, but they had a nice, the old Alpine Star Mustang V2 that I'm getting rid of. They did knuckle protection, but it was underneath a really nice subtle piece of perforated leather, so it didn't look as racy. It was kind of subtle, but it was very, very tough TPU as well. So yeah, these extra layer of leather, it goes and it integrates down into this really nice hard rubber palm slider. Now, my old gloves, my old Mustang V2 Alpine Stars did not have this. It had reinforced double stitch foam, and I like how it wraps around right there to about the middle of the palm. Now I wish I had a little more padding here in the ball of the thumb, the joint where it meets the palm. I wish I had a little more, but it has the reinforced double layer of leather, full grain animal hide. And then this, I believe, is the synthetic leather right here. Has the RST logo. And it has a smart touch for the index finger and the thumb. And it's actually a lot better than the smart touch from my old Alpine Star gloves, because with the old Alpine Star gloves, I had to touch the device with the screen. I had to touch with the flat part of the finger, whereas I've learned this is more a natural point and touch, the way you would really dial a phone number or something. It actually works better with the tip of your finger, not the flat part. So that was a little bit of a learning lesson right there. I just was trying to do it the old way and it wasn't working, and I got a little frustrated. Now I started going, oh, okay, this is an actual natural motion. I really like the extra plates of leather on the 3 digits here, on the pinky, like I mentioned, and then on the thumb. It's a nice big extra reinforced plate of armor leather. A few perforations in the tip of the thumb, index, middle, ring finger. No perforations on the pinky except for the inside of the glove. This is one of the features I like about this glove. I rode in this glove, like I said, about 50 or 60 miles, and you can really feel the wind. Even though you're gripping the handlebar, the grip, you could feel a little bit of an air rush through your fingers, and I like that. The other gloves, the old Alpine Stars I'm retiring, did not have that. They had a little bit of perforations, a lot of perforations over the knuckle protector, but the knuckle protector was kind of blocking the airflow, I believe. I mean, it had a few perforations on the backs of the fingers, but not enough. But it was still a very comfortable glove. The cuff was a lot shorter on my old Alpine Stars. I like the cuff length here. I like how it is including a pull, part of the full grain leather that's sewn all into here and connecting. There's a little pull tab. You can tuck that under, a little bit of extra protection for your wrists, or you can leave it out. You know, sometimes it gets so hot here. The last 2 summers, we've had a record heat, and I like to unzip my cuff a little bit on my jacket. That would be extra protection, just a little bit right there. If you go down and slide and your jacket slides up, or like I say, you can tuck it in. Now the knuckle protector has I can't feel it digging into the back of my hand when I make a fist, when I grip the bar. My old gloves, my old Alpine Stars were like that too. I did not have any problems with knuckle protector gouging into my skin. Like, I've read reviews on other gloves that happens sometimes. I've never had a pair of gloves like that has a knuckle protector, but I guess I can consider myself lucky. All right, so it's gonna be kind of loud. This is really, really nice Velcro. It's got the hook loop enclosure. And what I really, really like is this neoprene. They kind of bring it right around the rest of the wrist. My old gloves didn't have that, the old Alpine Stars. Now, my only little tiny gripe is the Velcro is really good, so it likes to stick to the neoprene. You know, Velcro and neoprene just really don't mix. But I'm okay with that. At a $70 price point, you see a little bit of fraying right there where I, took my gloves off and took a break and stuffed my gloves down in my helmet, and I didn't close them up well enough, and this stuck to the neoprene and made a couple little frays, but I'm not worried about that, like I said. All right, I went with the XL, and I'm glad I did, because if I went with a large, you can see right here, as soon as the widest part of my hand is getting pulled out, it's very tight. And then once I put it in, I grab the pull tab here, and it's pretty tight, but then once it gets past that point, it loosens up and it feels really good. Now, another little complaint is I do have a little bit of excess material on my thumb, which I did not have in my old gloves, and a little bit excess on the pinky. In fact, the pinky is probably the worst. But you don't really use, I don't use much of my pinky. Use 2 fingers, reaching for a lever, thumb, you know, turn signal control, horn. But it's not enough for me to be worried about. Like I said, I've ridden in them already, so it's not something that I'm worried. It's not like I'm trying to hit my turn signal and nothing but material. You know, it actually touches the tip of my thumb when I'm using the turn signal. So it's perfect for the style of riding that I'm doing. And again, at $70, I mean, you can't beat it. And now they have other options. I was looking at one called the TT, I believe, and it was just a little bit less protection, less racy looking. And I thought that's a nice glove, but maybe if I was just doing slower speed city commuting, I would get something like that. But since I ride on country roads and rural areas a lot, the speed limits are higher. So I like something with a little bit more protection, a TPU in it, carbon TPU knuckle protector. So yeah, that's about it. You know, you got your TPU right here on your thumb, I forgot to mention too. So you have it on 4 digits. So the only one that doesn't have it is the pinky, and I think that's okay. I did look at some of them that have the webbing that connect the pinky and the ring finger, but I'm not doing that style of riding. I think that's more of a race feature. I'm not testing the edge limit of my tire the way I ride on the Z900. It's just not, it's not my style. So I think if you're in the market for new gloves, check out RST. I know I'm going to be looking at more of their gear, their jacket and pants. I know I'm going to have to get some pants coming up pretty soon. So, all right, that's my review on the RST Freestyle 2 glove. Full grain leather, TPU, TPR, there's a little bit of memory foam, I think they said in the index and thumb somewhere. Short cuff. It just seems like it's going to be a very good glove. I think this is going to last me at least 3 or 4 riding seasons. I'm really, really happy about this palm slider right here. If you go down on the low side, I really think that's going to help. All right. Thanks for killing time with me. I'm CC and the Cowie Z. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. If you really like what you see, go ahead and subscribe.
I think I better just head back home. I don't want to get caught in the rain. My new gloves.